Welcome to Real Estate Unfiltered with Bridget
and Angie.
I am Bridget with Real Home Realty.
And I am Angie Krieger with CMG Home Loans.
And we are starting this video series, hopefully turning it into a podcast in time, just to talk about real estate, mortgages, and
everything in between. We want to bring on some guest speakers to talk about all things home related, whether you're a current homeowner, future homeowner, to kind of go over some things to look out for and just be aware of, how to prevent chimney fires or how to prevent ice damming in your home or how to take proper photos when you're trying to sell your house, just all the things. So trying to cover all the things that are beneficial for anybody who owns a home or wants to own a home.
And we're going to, again, try to keep it short and fun and just kind of lighthearted. So, if you guys have any questions that you want us to cover, you can always drop them down below in the comments and we'll be happy to address them the best way we can.
Or if you have any guest speakers you think that other people would benefit hearing from, let us know. We have quite a few people that we work with on daily that we want to incorporate, but we don't know everybody. So if you have anybody that you know of that's kind of in this niche, in this realm, put their name in the comments too. We'll talk to them about coming on for a guest speaker episode. You'll be doing those about once a month right now is our plan. Our video series will post every Wednesday, so keep an eye out for that. And then every week will be something different. The unfiltered part is basically just the chaos that is our life. Let's just put it that way. This is not like a sales pitchy kind of monologue lecture type of scenario. This is just two best friends who love what they do and want to bring education and awareness to everybody, while also keeping it fun and lighthearted. And the unfiltered part also means that sometimes it's our opinion. It may not always be everybody else's opinion, so keep that in mind. But for the most part, it's just to educate and motivate sometimes, to get off that defensive bunny.
Yep. And make fun of each other.
Yeah. I guess a little backstory on who I am. So I am Angie with CMG. I've been with CMG now. July will be my third year. But I've been in mortgage for 10. So what got me into mortgage was I bought my first house in 2014 with my husband, who was actually my fiance at the time. We are in the thick of wedding planning and decided, hey, what the heck? Let's buy a house too. Let's just add that onto our plate of a million things to do. Because we're trying to find a good spot to settle down, put some roots down. Our son was getting close to going into school. We don't want to be bouncing from school to school. So we decided to buy a house without having any idea at all what we were doing. It was very spontaneous, let's just put it that way. And the process itself was fine, but we didn't know anything. Like I remember going to my closing and listening about the terms and the private mortgage insurance and all the things associated with it. And I had no idea what any of that was. I just felt very uneducated in that regard. I mean, I knew how to make my payment on time. Like I pay my rent, but now, as a mortgage, it's a lot different. There's a lot involved with the mortgage. Because I know when my brother had bought a house before me, he had a program where he had no money down. So I was like, oh, I want that program. I don't want to put it. I don't have one. I'm paying for a wedding. I don't got money. We don't have money right now. But we didn't qualify for it because of our income. And I had no idea. So I think it's just the more you know, the more confident you can feel in that home buying process. And that was kind of like my light bulb moment because I was working in retail at that time, working third shift too, which was very exciting. And I just decided that retail wasn't really what I wanted to do because I don't have that stone veneer, where I can handle people that are just downright nasty. People are just mean. You work in the retail industry. It's just some people just forget that you're a human. and that's not something that's fun to go home, after dealing with all that. So I was like, retail is not my end game. It was great in high school, and then through the beginning parts of my adult life, but that wasn't my future career plans. And then I decided that I really wanted to learn about mortgages and how to help people buy houses, and that warm, fuzzy feeling you get when you get to the closing table and you're so happy that you just bought your own house and you walk into the house and it's just blank. And you can do whatever you want. It's just like that feeling is very surreal. Like you can't really explain it to anybody how that feeling is. And I'm sure you have that exact same feeling when you bought your house, recently divorced on your own. It's just one of those feelings that really makes the job the best. I mean, it really does. So, and ever since then, I left retail in 2015 and I haven't looked back. So it's been really great. So that's kind of why I prioritize education, because I feel like when you are educated in what you're doing, you feel a heck of a lot more comfortable, and it makes the process more fun. I mean, I'm not saying it's easy. There are things you have to go through, but the more people you have behind that support you, and the people that they teach you and guide you along the process, it makes it a lot easier, I think.
For sure. I've been in real estate for about 6.5 years now. I started with EXP, went to Coldwell Banker, and then now I've been on my own with Real Home Realty, brokered by Real, since actually December 1st is now a year that I've been kind of.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So, I love it. Being with Real under my own name now kind of gives me more flexibility to help my clients a little bit better, cater to their needs more and stuff. So I love it. It's a great company. And I got into real estate because my kids were getting older and I was looking for something to get out of the house a little bit, start to meet, kind of more people. I worked from home as my kids were growing up for a publishing and marketing company. And so that was all behind the scenes, and I missed the human interaction, like face to face. I still had it on the phone, but, again, some of those people, you got your keyboard warriors that can send you a nasty email and yell at you on the phone. And it's better face to face. And, real estate, yeah, you still get your crabby people, but hey, it's fine,
And you get that anywhere. I mean, it's just, that's being an adult. Honestly,
yeah, right, exactly.
Some people are just not happy.
But it is definitely a lot better. And I absolutely enjoy what I do. I love to educate people, especially first-time home buyers. My oldest daughter bought her very first home through me when I think she was 19 or 20 years old. I wanted her to be very independent and not rely on anybody. So I really pushed her into buying a house for herself. And she was actually my very first sale as well. So it was kind of our first together. She was my first child. She bought her first home. She was my first sale. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, maybe I shouldn't say that too much. That'll make her ego go like that.
Right.
So yeah, but I do really enjoy working with first-time home buyers and educating them. There is no dumb question. And
just ones they haven't been asked yet. So, just ask all the questions and ask them more than once if you need to, honestly, because sometimes the same question worded different ways can really make a difference.
Correct. And we do throw a lot at you, especially when you're looking at a house and you want to put in an offer, or you just have questions about certain documents. When we're telling that to you, I can see the eyes glaze over and people are like, And I'm like, do you understand? They're like, And I'm like, call or text me later when you've got questions again. So, calling me, texting me, emailing me, whatever you prefer, to say, okay, I'm sorry, what was that again? It doesn't bother me. Education, I love educating. So that way the process like the back of your hand. That way you know what you're getting into. I don't ever want you to have buyer's remorse. So,
yeah. I feel like a lot of times you forget everything when you're in the thick of it, and then you get home, or usually it's on the car ride from the meeting to your home. You're like, oh wait, I forgot about this, this, and this. So then, calling, texting, emailing, whatever works. We're flexible in that regard too. It's just sometimes things come up on a Sunday night. Okay, then text me. We'll answer. Not that way. It's just we just want to know.
I
Well,
do try
yeah.
to take Sundays to myself.
Well, if it's a question,
Correct.
that's simple enough.
Yes.
Those are, because usually those are the ones where if I don't ask it now, I'm going to forget.
Correct.
Or even if I ask it now, get back to me later. Not a big deal, but it's written down, so now I won't forget.
Absolutely, yes. Send your questions via text, email, any day or time of the night, and I will get back to you, as soon as I can.
Yeah, within reason, obviously. Yeah, because we, families, sleep, life, all the things. But yeah, so I just thought that's kind of how. You and I have known each other since what? We met in BNI in 2020. Was it the thick of COVID? Because I know we met virtually.
So.
Yeah, so we've been knowing each other for 5 years now.
Going on 6.
Yeah. Wow, that's crazy. But I think we have like latched onto each other. Like it was like one of those moments where you meet someone like, oh my gosh, we're like the same person.
Crazy.
Really, we're matching. We don't even try to match. It's
this a lot of not planned.
Yeah, a lot of the things that we love and all the things. It's like it's very similar. It's kind of crazy how that happens, but that's kind of where the friendship stemmed from, and you're kind of see that too in our just the way that we communicate with each other and like during the process. Being comfortable with who you're working with is really important too.
Absolutely.
Makes you, because sometimes things do go south. Whether it's an issue with an appraisal or there's a title concern or inspection. There's a lot of things that can happen, and sometimes those are unpleasant phone calls to make. But when you feel confident with who you're working with, you can work through pretty much anything. It's just a couple hurdles or a puzzle piece you got to try and quite fit in there.
Yeah. And that goes without saying. Just because if you hire me as your agent, you don't have to work with Angie.
Correct.
And vice versa. If you work with Angie, you don't have to hire me as your agent. We're just kind of doing this mainly as an educational, fun tool.
Yeah.
But if you are working with the both of us together on a deal, it does help the process go a lot quicker and easier. I feel I have never lost a deal due to financing when I worked with Angie ever. It's never been a financing issue. And as far as like offers go and things like that, if I am trying to figure out the best way to get an offer one, I will call Angie. We'll brainstorm together. Or if she's having an issue with trying to make something work on her end, she'll call me and we'll brainstorm, and we will basically role play it on the phone to see what's going to work, what's not going to work.
Just talk it out.
Exactly.
It's the biggest thing.
And then come up with the best approach. And then we'll talk to you as the buyer and say, okay, this is what we've come up with. Let me know your thoughts. You have questions, go to Angie or go to me, and we'll help clarify it just a little bit more. So.
Right. And if you're using somebody else, that's totally fine also. We work with quite a few, we've built relationships with other people also. It's not like you have to be exclusive to us. This is just something that we're doing because we're in the same office together and we just love to educate. So it's just one of those things that just felt right, but do not feel obligated. You have to use us in tandem. We'd love it.
Right.
But I work with many other agents. She has other lenders that she's worked. Sometimes, working with other people helps you learn who not to work with.
Yes, that is so true.
So we find some real dandies sometimes, and it's usually the ones who are very unfamiliar with the area is what I've noticed. It's the people who are not, either they're like some national lender that's, across the country and doesn't, it's just, or for some agents who are not even in this area, I feel like the knowledge you hold when you are in your community is very valuable. It makes everything go a lot better as well. I feel. Yeah,
that's absolutely true. Obviously I would love for everybody to use me as their realtor, but you don't have to. You want to pick somebody that you trust and you feel you have a great relationship with. But the one thing that I will strongly recommend is you work with somebody that is local. Even if you do have a great connection with an agent outside the area, that's great. But
you mean my cousin who's a lender or an agent in Florida can't help me buy a house here in Wisconsin?
or an agent that is, way down in Germantown or, whatever. You can do research as much as possible, but you really don't truly know the market unless you're working in it. So always stick with local. When you're calling around to agents, ask where they're located. Like my office, it does show that I'm out of Madison, but I'm not. I'm here. So that can also be kind of deceiving. So when you're calling around and talking to agents, just always ask, hey, where are you located? Where do you sell the most?
Yeah, I get that too, because my corporate is actually in California, but I'm not in California, obviously. Or a lot of the lenders that are at CMG are in Brookfield or Shorewood, and I'm also not over there too. So yeah, it is important to call and see where they are located, because your main company is in Madison, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Yep. Real Broker is out of Madison. Yeah, that's the one where I hold my license at. But my physical office is here in Beaver Dam.
Right.
And my main selling area is Dodge County and the surrounding areas. So you want to make sure somebody is very familiar with the market when you go to sell your home.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and I can lend right now anywhere in Wisconsin. So it's kind of nice. We can do anywhere in Wisconsin. And coming in February, we can do nationwide. So that'll be kind of nice. Yeah, second homes, vacation homes, all the things. So
good. I'm ready to buy one.
Yeah, let's get you in the warm climate.
Just kidding. So that is basically, the end of our kind of first segment. We just wanted to make kind of a quick intro video to talk a little bit about who we are, what Real Estate Unfiltered is going to be about. Yeah, so.
Yeah, what to look forward to. So again, we're going to be posting a new episode every Wednesday. And then those are going to vary between just basic banter between the two of us on things real estate related. And then we'll have a guest speaker at least once a month. And then we're hoping to do some community spotlights too. Try and get out in the community and spotlight some businesses here in town. So again, if you know of anybody in the real estate realm, whether they're, plumbers or electricians or roofers or whatever, we have people lined up already, but anybody that you know of that you think does fantastic work and give advice and insight to others, give us their name. We'll contact them about being on our podcast video series. Well, I guess however you want to word it. It's not quite a podcast, so it's not going to be on Spotify yet. That is like our 6-month plan into this. So we do have plans already, into Q3, Q4 of 2026 and how to continue to grow. Just make sure that you like and follow our page. We are going to be on YouTube for, the full podcast, and also on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook under the Real Estate Unfiltered.
Correct. And nobody steal our ideas.
Right.
We just gave you tips. So now if we see them out there, we'll know you watched and stole our ideas.
Right. But they always say, though, that sometimes, the people make the best information, that it gets stolen. So, I mean, But yeah, it's just hopefully you guys find value in this. And of course, please comment, like, share. But let us know if there's anything you want us to talk about, any questions you have, because I feel like that's really going to be important too. Oh, we also wanted to talk and bring in some past clients also that we've worked with to kind of help talk to you about their experience with buying a home, whether it was their first home or if they were buying a vacation home or whatever. And just bringing in other people to kind of talk through their process of listing and buying and all the things to try and bring some insight to you as well. Because I feel like testimonials from people who've gone through it can really resonate more than the professionals who do it every single day.
Correct.
So
Absolutely.
bring those people in as well.
Yeah. So if you are any of my past clients or current clients, please feel free to message me if you would like to come on and talk about how awesome I am.
Right.
Just kidding.
Yeah, no pressure. No pressure.
Just kidding.
Right. But yeah, that's all we have for you today. We appreciate you tuning in, and we will see you guys next week.